Alright, I finally figured it out. As you can see, the network got quite a bit larger from last episode, but it should be functioning in every fucking spot here now, so we should be good. We should be Gucci. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. um, I noticed that when I restart it, it creates a network properly, which is a good sign. And I think I figured out the reason why, actually, so we should be fine now, honestly. This might actually be correct. Yeah, it looks like everything's working properly. A few things have to be changed about the combustion generators, actually. For one, I've never actually seen them max out on the item storage yet, so I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work out, but we're gonna find out. Oh, here we go. This one right here. I'm gonna mark that. I wanna check back on that in a second. There's a little bit of bugginess with these. As you can see, it's generating charcoal, which is because it's a placeholder. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. It's a placeholder item. Looks like this one's full, so. Oh, that one's out? I guess I never powered that one. Well, eventually it's gonna be like combustion generators will output carbon ash or something. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but it's going to output a waste product, so that's why we've got charcoal coming out for now, and the waste product will be proportional to the burn time. Currently, it doesn't output the correct uh, amount. It's based on a random number, so if the burn time's 800, which is what coal is, it'll multiply the output value by 800 divided by 80, which is just wrong. It needs to be 800 divided by 800 to be a sensible number, and it's a random chance to generate a item on output, so that's about it for that part. So far TPS has been fine. I think it's a little bit laggier now, mainly because I'm on a client side, so well, I'm running this on my client, so it's probably gonna have a lot more trouble handling the game because, you know, has to do 2 times the work pretty much. When it's on a server, it probably will be half of what the milliseconds are now. The network works totally fine now, though. We should be able to just place anything anywhere, and yeah. I found a way to do something that makes the network creation way easier, so it should work out properly. I'm interested in seeing how far it can go before it stops getting power. Like, what will happen when the chunks don't load? I guess we'll find out. Might as well, right? I'm thinking that every machine will have 2 output slots, because I think having 1 output slot is kind of dumb. It just doesn't make sense anymore, you know? We're in 2021. Can't have 2 output slots for once. Even the generators will have that. Not every generator will have waste products, but I'm intending to make a lot of them do that. Somehow this is getting energy. How far can we go? There's no reason this should be getting power at this point. How? What? The tile entities should be unloaded right now. You know, we might as well just drain all the energy in the network real quick. Let's see. Can we get rid of all of it? Just place down a bunch of these. Overpower the generators. I don't know if I mentioned before, but these run on something like, I don't know, 20 RF per tick. Yeah, there we go. It's draining it. I think I think if I now... Apparently not fast enough. I think if I now break these, we might be able to just, like, extract all the energy from... We might have extracted all the energy from the storages, and since the Tylonies are out of loaded range, they shouldn't be doing anything anymore. I was wrong. Oh, it's spawn chunks. Right. Well, that explains it. Kinda want to test this without spawn chunks, so... I guess this video is going to be longer than I initially intended. We have one generator there. We should be disconnected from the spawn chunks now, so... Let's just make sure. Yeah, we are. Good. Combustion generators make 20 RF per tick as well, so... I might need to tweak it a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, because 20 is basically what everybody's been doing for the past 200 years, so it seems the most balanced. Maybe I could make it burn at 40 RF per tick, but the tick time's 2 times less. That way you get the same amount of energy out as you put in. Let's see, will this work? Somehow it's still getting energy from that far away. I don't know how. TPS is having issues since we're loading new chunks. That's not even bad, so can't really complain. As long as the TPS isn't caused by my cable, you know, I'm all happy. There's gonna be multiple tiers of these, by the way. I guess I never mentioned that. There's gonna be multiple tiers of logistics cable, and they'll all have pretty much the same concept. They'll be able to transport any item, any liquid, any energy source, energy type. So they're basically universal cables, but even more universal. You know, the most universal thing is that you can possibly have. Pretty much like XNet, I would say. I don't know if that's in 1.16, but these will be pretty much configurable to do that, and there will be multiple tiers. But since they're so overpowered, I'm going to make them really difficult to be... They're going to be really difficult to make, and will require some automation. Okay, so now we're far enough away that the tile entity isn't loaded, and it's not getting power. So let's go back and see if we could get that loaded real quick and see what happens. Can I speed this up? Maybe I'm close enough now. Let's see. Not seeing energy coming. Alright, there it is. I see it. It should be loaded now. Let's see if loading it for a second allows the network to transport it. I don't want to be able to transport across unloaded chunks, so if it doesn't, it's all good. Yeah, alright. That's a good experiment right there. That means it's working intentionally. Which is kind of hard considering how many times it just hasn't been. So yeah, since I've done this for energy now, doing it for items and liquids is going to be pretty much just a copy-paste job. It might not even require copy-paste, really. I don't know. It depends on... There's going to be a lot of changes made because the way liquids work is very different from other shit, but you know, I am interested. What happens if I connect this? Go all the way over here. Because that's on the loaded chunks. The cables themselves also are not going to be entire blocks in size, but I might just make them like that, honestly. It kind of makes them easier to deal with, but it will have, if I do make them like connected texture sprites, it's going to be much harder. So, oh, look at that. Since it's being powered by the spawn chunks, it's actually getting energy. That's very interesting, honestly, that it's able to do that. So, take with that what you will. These are powerful in that regard. Um, I'm going to add some sort of Tesseract type item, but I'm intending to make it a lot more complicated than previous ones. Of course, that means if your mod pack has mechanism or something, the quantum entanglement porter is going to be the thing to go for. Um, any sort of easy teleportation block is obviously better than what I've got planned. It's going to be a very expensive form of teleportation. And I think that makes sense considering um, teleporting items is kind of overpowered. And I don't agree with how other mods have been doing that. So I guess that's it for this demonstration. I mean, it's finally working properly now. I figured out the problem. It does put a little bit more strain on the server when creating a network, but it shouldn't be very bad. Yeah, I think it actually increases the TPS quite a bit when I place blocks down. No, it doesn't. It's just fluctuating. It's pretty fast, to be fair. I guess that's about it. I'm glad it's working finally. I don't have to suffer anymore. I'm gonna take a break from Zero Energy for the time being. Maybe do something else for server network I work on. Um, maybe Zero Energy will be on there. Never know. It's gonna be a moment before Zero Energy is in a state that I would release it in, though. And of course, the sprites will have to get changed. Alright, peace out then.